Okay, for anybody out there that's maybe got an older John Deere like this 4310, I bought it new in about 03. I think it was like 17,000 back then. Now you'd probably 30,000, 37,000, who knows. I checked out some of the smaller sizes, and about the lowest price I could find is 21,000 for one about half this capability. Been actually quite a great machine, considering it's all hydraulic and all electronic activated, and you find that out when you get the shop manual for it. It's all full of schematics. There's more schematics in it than there are mechanics. Anyway, finally got this is a stout made in USA grappler. Seems to be pretty substantial, and I'm a fabricator welder, and you know, and this adapter thing I got is not very good quality. It's got a lot of slack here between the pin, which you need to put washers on this side, and then this, they've got the wrong size radius here. It's not that hard. I mean, I've made things that attach to this original John Deere, but I wanted to get conversion to a skid steer, kind of a universal coupler. You lose also about 6 inches of leverage here, which is probably equivalent to 100 or 200 pounds. You know, I haven't figured that out yet. I actually increased the pressure relief valve on this tractor. It's never had any breakout force or anything to speak of, or any reserve, so I took this area apart to get into pressure relief valve is this item right here. You have to come in from the front, break that nut. This one, the larger nut, you can take the whole unit out, but that's the front of the tractor, or front end loader valve anyway, right there. This top. I haven't pressure washed this yet, but that's original, coming up on almost 20 years of use. I've never had this all removed. I've got the steering wheel. I've taken that apart a few times. The adjuster in there is all made out of pot metal. It's not much good, so that's I need to redo that. Anyway, what I've been doing is got this valve, mounted it where it still clears the lever here, and that's to run, of course, the grappler closure and opening. I got the extra valve for later to add a 3-point hydraulic top link for the 3-point scraper bucket, that type of thing. Anything you got on the back, so I can power tilt it while you're on the fly, so to speak. I couldn't tell you how many hours this thing's got. I think it quit at 650. It's probably got 1,200. I've never seen an hour meter that still working on anything older than 5 or 10 years. Anything I've ever had, anyway. So anyway, my error was, though, I thought the pressure feed came to the rocker, what they call the rocker arms back here, or whatever, the 3-point hydraulic lift first. That's where I hook on the backhoe down in this area. That was the couplers I made or adapted several years ago. I took off a solid tube that ran from the loader pump. It had a solid tube that ran over to the rocker arm pump or cylinder, and I removed the original equipment, and then I added 2 hydraulic hoses with couplers, and that's where I tie in the back hose. Real simple. I didn't get any fixed couplers or anything in the back, you know, like a kit you could get for $1,300 or $1,500, or everything you get from John Deere is very expensive. Fortunately, I haven't had to buy anything for this. I just been able to keep it, haven't had to do much with this tractor. It's been pretty amazing, considering it's all electronic and hydraulic controlled. Even the shuttle, which they call easy power reverser, it's been pretty good. I kind of just about wore out the clutch, just towing two biggest floats and things, but they seem to have recovered, and I've never had to redo the clutch packs. It's got a separate clutch pack, one for reverse, one for forward. That's how you can shift on the fly, so to speak. So anyway, I had the pressure line coming into this side and trying to go through the valve this way, so when you activate it, it would just lock up. It didn't have hydraulic flow. The clamshell up here moved a little bit, but then it would not raise and lower. It would just kind of lock up. So I was just studying my schematics over and thinking, well, it worked with the backhoe. Said the only thing I hadn't considered was that the pressure, I had the wrong pressure line there. So I moved just this morning, just switched this hose, these two hoses, flip-flopped them, and brought in the pressure on this side, which is correct. I just thought the pressure came to that rocker arm first, but the high pressure from the hydraulic pump up front here comes into the loader control first. And there's recently, I don't know if I went over that already, I didn't have my recorder on the first pass on this, I'm redoing it. The pressure relief valve is right here on this, and that's the valve. It's kind of hard to see down there, but that is the front end loader valve. And it's even got one extra that's not even used. So a person got the kit or adapter, you probably could activate that lever, find the output, and you could still operate another item from that 3-spool original, factory installed unit. But anyway, it's working now. Pretty exciting to have the capability. I've been, for years, that would have come in handy in Idaho, where everything grows, the weeds grow 10, 12 feet high. And I was just testing it out here. Not quite as much junk here in Nevada, but they're fair share too. So anyway, it's not that hard to get this going. I brought my feed hoses up here for now. I'm not saying all this is finalized. Make sure it works first. I do have a standoff with a spring that I'm going to mount here, so the hoses are routed a little better, because when you work with tree limbs and everything, they end up getting every place. They could come through this area and get in a hose, and then this is the ones that came with the stout grappler, your flat face 1/2 inch, and I had ordered I didn't even know they had all different sizes of those. I had ordered some with 3/8 in, but that also makes the coupler a smaller unit, so it did not mate up to this one. So I need to order another 1/2 inch to put here. This one is, your traditional, that you can hardly ever get these to even move as far as locking them up. I mean, as far as coupling them, they're real hard to work with. And then I want to make a mounting plate to mount these units, so you can just push them in, like they do on the skid loaders and so forth. So anyway, that's where I'm at on this. The adapter here, I probably could have retrofitted this, built directly to this, and saved about 8 inches, 7, 8 inches of leverage here, which probably translates into at least 200 pounds of, plus the weight of this unit is like somewhere around, I think they said 500 pounds. It sounds a little heavy, but feels like it though. When I'm lifting, that's why I increased my pressure relief valve a little bit. This tractor never did have very good breakout force and so forth. But you can see on this adapter from Amazon, it was like $3.99, but they used the wrong radius here to make a tight fit. There's a big gap there. Let's see if I can dial in on that. So I'm going to weld a filler behind it, and then the pins, they didn't even use the right diameter here. So they're sloppy, and then the retainer has about a 3/8 inch gap here, so that it has a lot of slop or play this way, and that's to me is not acceptable. So I need to enhance that a little bit. That's all for now.